Business Entrepreneurship 388. I'm Kelsey Foster, and I'll be your instructor for this course. This is a shortened 10-week course. I'd like to introduce myself before we get started, just so you can get a little bit better idea of who I am and my perspective on things. I was raised in Brokenville, Nebraska, graduated high school there in 2013. I then went to UNL and majored in horticulture and minored in leadership and entrepreneurship. I graduated there in strictly 4 years in May of 2017. I then came right back to the family farm where we specialize in native grasses and wildflower seed production. We grow cover crops for seed that includes buckwheat, rye, oats, and hairy vetch. And we also are starting to dive into livestock. So I'm getting a lot of experience with a cow-calf operation nearby. I also have my own free-range pastured chickens that we raise for both meat and eggs. I'm also looking into raising hair sheep and grass-fed pork. But that's enough about me. Let's hop into the course. As you know, it's titled Agribusiness Entrepreneurship. And it's a great course to take if you're anywhere from interested to fully invested in entrepreneurship as a career path down the road, or whether you're in it right now. There's several key takeaways that we're going to be working with through this course. First of all, we're going to be working on growing your entrepreneurial mindset. So wherever you're at, hopefully you'll be able to develop it along the way. Second, I have them written down. We're going to both develop and validate a business idea for you, or maybe multiple if you can't validate the one, through customer discovery and competitor discovery and a lot of other things along the way. One thing I should mention is the first step you should always implement when you start or are thinking about starting a business is to do this customer discovery method. It's proven to be very successful in the long run to get your customers lined up before you even start your business. Also, if you already have a business started, this is still going to be a great course for you to take. You can either diversify your business, grow your business through finding different customers. There's a lot of different options we can have for you to get something from this course as well. You're also going to be doing a lot of work with a mentor that you choose yourself and peer partners that you find along the way through this semester. There are also many other things in the syllabus I'll specifically outline when we get there, but first I'd like to mention that this is a 10-week course, which means it's shortened from the regular semester. This was done with the idea that this course will be over when all your other courses pick up speed with big projects due, finals. So this is an accelerated course, so we will be hopping into course content right away. Next, I'd like to move into the syllabus.
As you can see from my desktop here, this course was meant to empower enterprise builders. So you can check out the Engler website. If you're not a part of Engler, you can check it out, see if maybe you would like to join. Again, here is my information. If you ever need to get a hold of me, here's my email. It's kelsey.foster1@gmail.com. You can also text me or call me anytime. This is my cell phone number there for you. And I have specific office hours where I'll be answering emails, grading papers, stuff like that. So this will be a great time to get a hold of me Monday from 8 to 10 a.m. and Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. during these 10 weeks. I'm also fully open to being able to FaceTime or Zoom with you individually or with a small group, whatever you prefer. Just make sure you set up an appointment either during my office hours or text me or email me when you'd like to meet. And I'd love to meet and chat with you about course content, how to go about continuing to develop your business idea, any other questions that come along the way. I'd love to answer them for you. And if you aren't familiar with Zoom, that's what I'm recording on right now. It's basically another video conferencing software program. So I've mentioned some of the learning outcomes of the course, but I've also listed more in the syllabus. So like I mentioned, we're going to be working with your entrepreneurial mindset and also discuss and define entrepreneurship as it relates to an idea unique to you. So a big part of this course is that you need to come into it with a great idea or what you think is a great idea at the time. And we can help validate that idea and maybe grow it so you can start it one day, or kind of define it as a not so great idea or not great idea at this time and place. Okay, So we're also going to be obviously working on problem identification and solution development, which is a huge part of starting a business. Always want to start with finding that problem and coming up with a creative, unique solution that'll really drive home the point of solving that problem for your customers. Again, creation of ideas with opportunity and personal strengths in mind. Customer discovery is a huge part of this course. It's going to be one of the main takeaways you'll get. You'll also start building a marketing plan. Since this is an agricultural listed course, a lot of you are coming from or returning to family operations. And so I want to provide some course content for you as well to hopefully bring back to that operation and improve it. I have a little bit of personal experience when it comes to that. And finally, we're going to be working in teams to solve issues. That includes research, networking, and collaborative skills. Again, that'll come from your mentoring opportunities and peer partners that I'll talk about here in a second. So now that we have the learning outcomes all listed out, let's go through our course schedule, which is what you're going to be really paying attention to in these next few weeks. So I've listed the week number here. The weekly topic of the lecture will be in the second column, and the assignments due are in this third column. I want to make sure and note that all assignments, for the most part, I'll note some exceptions week by week, but all assignments, for the most part, are due on Fridays at 11:59 p.m. That is a strict deadline, okay? So this first week, I obviously already introduced myself, and we're going over the syllabus right now. So we've also done the course objectives, and we're working on the schedule. We're also going to go over the logistics for the class and our first lecture series, which is going to be on mindset. Again, that entrepreneurial mindset, we're going to be diving in this week. So look forward to that. Again, you can look through all these different weekly topics, but let's go over our assignments real quick for this first week. You're going to also be creating a student introduction so that it's more personal for me to get to know you more, rather than just an online course where we're just two random people on different sides of a computer screen. You'll notice a lot of weeks we'll be reading different articles and creating a reflection over those articles. I want these reflections to be very well thought out, and they will be graded based on first participation, but also the thought and application you put into them. So that's just going to be the main thing for this week, besides watching this lecture, reading, creating your introduction, and doing your reflection. So let's go over a quick rundown of what to expect in the future weeks, okay? Week 2, we have some idea work, so that's going to be your business idea. So start thinking about that this week. If you don't have a great idea coming into this course, I want to make sure that you have a worthwhile idea that you are actually interested in pursuing. So start thinking about that this week if you haven't already, and we're going to do more work on it next week. But we're also going to continue our mindset series lecture and work on innovation and idea development. Week 3, we're going to be moving into our peer partner plan and mentor plan. That is going to be a huge part of this course because you're going to be meeting in person with someone each week. Even though this is an online course, it's going to be a lot of face-to-face time with people, developing your idea, working through course content, that kind of thing. So the peer partners, that's going to kind of be up to you how many you want. You are required to have at least one. I would suggest having 3, 1 for each week. A meeting is required. So that way you get different perspectives, different advice each time. But if you have a really great peer or student who's working with you on this idea, I would suggest going with them through the whole week, 3 weeks, so you can really develop your idea with them specifically. And your mentor that I'm requiring that you find is going to be a business professional, a little bit outside of your age range, above you in business, basically. So if that's a boss, if that's someone you look up to with a great set of morals who's in business, that kind of thing, that can really you can draw a lot of great business ideas from. Business ideas, business development things from. We're also going to be working through some shadowing projects. So these are where you go out into the business world. You'll choose 2 different businesses. The first one will be related to your business idea, so in that same industry realm. And the second one will be outside of it, so something completely different. So if for your one in your industry, you have a farmer because you want to grow your family farm, and the one outside of your industry, you could shadow a catering business. Both of these shadowing projects in the past, people have found a lot of great information to bring back to their idea, their business, through both. And those different perspectives and spending time in both industries is going to be a huge benefit to you. Okay, week 4, we're going to start off with those in-person meetings. So you'll notice each of those meetings that are required are italicized in the schedule. So that way you can be thinking through, what I need to plan for next week, okay? So in week 4, we're going to start with our customer discovery interviews, which is huge because that's one of the main parts of starting a business. Week 5, we'll continue with those, have another meeting. Week 6, we're going to dive into our personal and self, and then company branding. So we'll have a section on that. Again, more customer discovery and personal meetings. And then week 7, we're going to flip gears and move into competitor discovery. Okay, so knowing who else is out there who's doing the same type of thing as you is super important when starting a business. Also, we're going to go over that section in entrepreneurship and family farms and operations that I already discussed. And also in week 8, we're going to be moving through more of the same thing, as competitor discovery. Week 9, we're going to be creating a product analysis and working on pitching your business idea, because you should have it pretty developed by this point. And week 10, we're going to come up with presentations, a final meeting with your mentor, and a timeline for how your business idea might pan out for you. You can notice we have a lot of assignments due along the way, but each week I'll outline them really clearly for you so you know what's due. Our grading scale, if we are going to move along, is only in solid letters and pluses. I don't want to deal with minuses, and I never liked when I got a minus and it dropped my GPA. So we're not going to deal with that in this class. And again, that one simple course rule to remember that I already hinted at was that we're not going to be grading any late assignments under any circumstances. You're welcome to submit any work early, but if it's past the due date, I won't be able to grade it for you. I can give you feedback, but you'll receive a 0 in the grade book. There are no prerequisites for this course, and the next thing in our syllabus will be our assignment descriptions. I've listed out each assignment description. We'll go over each as we need to each week, but each point amount is associated with that assignment is here next to it. And as you notice down below, we'll be having 200 points total for the semester that you can earn. So your score out of 200 points is basically how you'll earn your percentage grade. Again, here's just some technical things down below on the syllabus. But for now, that is the syllabus in a whole. Please read through it thoroughly and get back to me with any questions or concerns you have about it or about where this course is headed, anything like that. I'd love to answer them for you. One more thing I want to notice in the course logistics is in our modules. This is where you'll be seeing all of the course content put together each week. I have it outlined, I will have it outlined very simply for you so that each week it'll correspond to 1 week drop down, okay? So week 1, all your content will be here. If you have stuff that's presented in week 1 that's due in week 3, I'll make sure to refer you back to week 1 in the lecture, in an email, that kind of thing, okay? So hopefully it'll be really organized for you so you won't get lost in anything. I'll have each week content posted in this sidebar here, this not indented part. So your week-long lecture you're watching right now is located under this tab, and then you'll have 2 assignments that are indented here. So your introduction is one and your idea statement is another. You'll notice the 3rd assignment for the week that we also outlined in the syllabus is that week 1 reflection. And your week 1 articles that were in the syllabus are right above it in a content tab. Okay? Pretty straightforward. You'll get in the groove of things later in the semester when it all starts flowing, hopefully, for everyone. So first of all, that student introduction. Again, I want to get to know each of you a little better so that I can give you more individualized and personalized feedback when I do give you those type of grades and comments throughout the semester on each assignment. I want any format that you think is best for your introduction, okay? If you want to do a video introduction, if you would like to do a storyboard with a lot of pictures and just run through it with a narrated PowerPoint, that'd be great. Or if you just want to do a short paragraph with at least 2 pictures at the end of it, because I want to get a visual glimpse into your world as well. Again, this is just going to help me get a better idea of who you are and hopefully make the course a little more personalized. I have included a list of things to include. You can read through those. I don't need to read through them all for you. But yeah, just have fun with it. And it's going to be worth 5 points, and it's due on January 11th, which is Friday. Next up is the idea statement. Okay, the idea statement is due in week 2. I have it listed here though, so you can start working on it if you already have your idea well outlined in your head. So a lot of people come into this class with an idea they want to pursue, maybe in the career path after college or a little bit down the road when they've gained some resources in the financial realm. But this project will help you formulate the idea you have for your class, business in this class. It's just a quick double-spaced paper, no length max, close to a page if I'm asking for a minimum. I'm looking for a lot of details. Okay, so explain the idea, list some of your interests or passions that relate to it and would help build it up, and a clear description of the problem and solution you've identified. So basically the need in the marketplace you've found, where your business idea would fit in. Okay, and finally, for this week, we have your reflection that's due. So here is a link to all of the articles that you need to read for this week. There's just 3 of them. They're pretty straightforward, and hopefully you'll get some good information out of each of them. But your week 1 reflection, after you read through that, all the articles in the week 1 module, write a 2 to 3 page double-spaced reflection paper as stated here. I've included some specific questions for you to think through. This is kind of going to be a basic standard for the reflection that we're going to start with, but through the semester we're going to move beyond writing to creating video reflections and more creative forms of reflections and just writing out some words on a paper, something that might be a little more impactful for you, who knows. So trying these different forms of reflection, hopefully you'll find one that really works for you and that you resonate with, that you can use in your career path down the road. Okay, so make sure you click back in this week 1 lecture and watch our Mindset Part 1 lecture as well. You'll be doing your week 2 reflection based on that mindset series, as well as the article you'll be reading in week 2. So paying attention to that, gleaning details from that that really speak to you are going to be important as well. So with that, it's a pretty straightforward week. Again, just the introduction, the articles, the reflection are due. Think about that idea statement that's due in week 2, and also watch that Mindset Part 1 lecture. Get back to me with any questions that you have, and I'd love to visit with you, get to know you better. So if you'd like to set up a meeting this week, feel free.